Portland, Oregon, where it looks like a war zone. And I get a call from the liberal governor, "Sir, please don't come in. We don't need you." I said, "Well, unless they're playing false tapes, this looked like World War II. Your place is burning down. I mean, you must be kidding."
That was President Trump addressing hundreds of military leaders this morning. As you just heard, he's doubling down on his claims, calling Portland a war zone. And new at noon, we are now seeing the conversations between the White House and Governor Tina Kotek. These are text messages between the president and Kotek. According to the text threads, Trump's assistant wrote on his behalf saying, quote, "Federal buildings are being attacked on a nightly basis. We can't have this," end quote. Kotek responded saying she will call the president, calling the notice to mobilize the Oregon National Guard unlawful and unwarranted, saying the president broke his promise to speak before taking further action against Portland. The president responded saying in part, quote, "I notified you to get things in order and you didn't. Everyone knows that Portland has been an unmitigated disaster for years." And those messages came as President Trump announced he is deploying National Guardsmen to Portland. And today we are getting a better understanding of when that could happen. The Oregon National Guard tells us it's possible we could see Guardsmen in Portland by Thursday at the earliest. However, yesterday, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield filed a temporary restraining order to stop that deployment. The filing is in addition to a lawsuit from the state of Oregon filed on Sunday, also to block the president's order.
And so we wanted to draw a very distinct line in the sand that this is not okay. This is un-American in the way that you're doing it. And we're going to fight like hell to make sure that you follow the laws in our country, because this is absolutely unacceptable. That's why we did it so quickly.
Many state and local leaders have been outspoken against the deployment, saying National Guard troops are not needed in Portland. A federal judge is expected to make a decision on the temporary restraining order Friday. Again, that's one day after the Oregon National Guard says troops could start arriving. We spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Bomar with the Oregon National Guard, who says 200 troops are expected to arrive. He says they will be stationed in several areas throughout Portland.
The responsibility is to protect federal buildings and the employees that will be inside those. Just keep in mind, it's still us. It's your friendly neighborhood guard person. People are leaving their employers right now to help support this mission.
He confirmed all the troops that would be deployed to Portland do belong to the Oregon National Guard. He also said one of the locations troops would be sent to would be the ICE facility in South Portland. We've been covering the protests outside that ICE facility since they first began earlier this summer. Fox 12's Mackenzie Richmond breaks down the timeline and what we are now hearing from the White House.
Just in this morning, the White House sent a strongly worded statement about its plans to deploy the National Guard here to the city of Portland, saying in part, quote, "The radical left's reign of terror in Portland ends now." The statement also included a timeline of arrests near the ICE facility, including the 2 arrested on Sunday after a fight broke out between some protesters. It's not uncommon for this area to see demonstrations. In fact, as early as 5 this morning, there were already several protesters out here. This area has seen a steady flow of demonstrations since June. Protests picked up after ICE began making immigration-related arrests, and 3 demonstrators were detained for blocking access to the building. Then there was the June 14th No Kings March that led to Portland police declaring a riot at the ICE facility and making several arrests after tear gas was deployed. On July 4th, fireworks were thrown at officers, and then by Labor Day, demonstrators brought a guillotine, prompting federal agents to fire tear gas and pepper balls. It was around that time that President Trump began speaking publicly about Portland.
These are paid terrorists. These are paid agitators, and they're very dangerous for our country.
Just days later, the city of Portland announced ICE had violated its operating agreement after our reporting revealed detainees were being held longer than permitted. Since then, 26 people have been charged with federal crimes tied to activity around the facility. Portland police do not engage with immigration enforcement, but they are responsible for maintaining public safety and have arrested several outside the facility, including the 2 on Sunday. But after police made those arrests, they pulled back. This morning, federal agents remain in charge of security here at the facility. We'll keep you updated on the developments throughout the day and bring you those updates both on air and on our Fox 12 News app. Mackenzie Richmond, Fox 12 Oregon.
Mackenzie, thank you. 4 people are in ICE custody following an investigation into a so-called laser strike involving a Customs and Border Protection Agency helicopter over Portland. The FBI says someone pointed a laser at the helicopter and another aircraft on Saturday. Here you see aerial images that helped investigators pinpoint a home where they say the laser was located. The FBI did not give us an address, but yesterday it raided a home and took 4 people into custody. It says they were all in the country illegally, so they were placed in ICE custody. We are told agents also found a laser pointer. We are closely tracking developments in the expected deployment of National Guard troops. Between newscasts, you can always get updates anytime at kptv.com and on our Fox 12 app, including reaction from local interfaith leaders, how local mayors are showing their support for Portland's leaders, and an update from Portland police about their response to protests at the ICE facility.